Welcome to the modern elite. Let's be honest, the moment you start wondering if she's into you is the exact moment you've already missed half the signs. And what's worse, the signs she gives you aren't loud. They're quiet, controlled, almost invisible. Because when a woman has already chosen you, she doesn't chase you the way you expect. She studies you. She watches how you move, how you react, how you carry silence. And if you're not paying attention, you'll think nothing is happening while everything is already decided. See, attraction isn't always loud. It doesn't always look like flirting, laughing, or obvious attention. Real attraction, the kind that actually matters, hides in behavior that feels normal on the surface but is deeply intentional underneath. And most men miss it because they're trained to look for noise, not patterns. When a woman has already chosen you, the first thing that changes isn't what she says. It's how available she becomes without looking desperate. She'll find subtle reasons to be around you, not constantly, not in a way that screams neediness, but just enough that your presence becomes familiar to her routine. You'll start noticing her showing up where you are, engaging in conversations she could have avoided, extending moments that didn't need to last longer, but she makes them last anyway. And here's where most men get it wrong. You think, oh, she's just being nice. No, women don't invest consistent time and emotional energy into men they feel nothing for. They may be polite, yes, friendly, sure, but consistent presence, that's intentional, that's selective, but she won't tell you because saying it out loud removes the mystery. And more importantly, it removes her ability to evaluate you. When she's chosen you, she's not trying to win you over. That's a completely different game. And if you misunderstand it, you'll either chase too hard or pull away too soon. Watch how she listens to you. Not just hearing your words, but remembering small details you didn't think mattered. The way you take your coffee, the random story you told once, the opinion you casually dropped. If she brings those things back later, that's not accidental, that's emotional investment. That's her mind holding on to pieces of you because she's already decided you matter more than the average man in her life. And there's a certain calmness to it. She won't always be overly excited or dramatic around you. In fact, sometimes she'll seem more composed, more controlled. That's because when a woman genuinely likes you, she becomes aware of herself. She's not performing anymore. She's observing, adjusting, making sure she doesn't reveal too much too soon. You might even feel confused by it. One moment she's warm, engaged, present. The next she pulls back slightly like she's giving space. That push and pull isn't manipulation, it's caution. It's her balancing interest with self-respect. And if you're not grounded as a man, that's where you lose it. You start overthinking. You start chasing clarity instead of reading behavior. And the truth is, she's already given you clarity, just not in words. Because when a woman chooses you, she doesn't announce it. She lives it quietly, hoping you're sharp enough to see it without her having to say a single word. If she's already chosen you, she won't compete for your attention the way other women might. That's the part most men misunderstand. You've been conditioned to think that if she really likes you, she'll chase harder, text more, try to impress you constantly. But when a woman has already made her decision about you internally, she actually does the opposite. She slows down, she becomes more intentional, and strangely more selective with her energy. You'll notice she doesn't flood your phone with meaningless messages. She doesn't try to dominate your attention or pull you away from your life. Instead, her communication feels precise, thoughtful, like every interaction has weight. She's not trying to be everywhere in your world. She's trying to see if she belongs in it. And here's the shift you need to understand. When a woman hasn't chosen you yet, she might try to win you over. She'll be louder, more obvious, sometimes even a little performative. But when she has chosen you, she assumes you'll come to her, not out of arrogance, but out of belief. She believes her presence, her energy, her subtle signals are enough for the right man to recognize. That's why she'll test your awareness, not your patience. She'll say something small and see if you catch the deeper meaning. She'll give you an opening, a moment to step forward, and then she'll watch what you do with it. Not because she's playing games, but because she's measuring something critical, your emotional intelligence, your ability to read between the lines, your ability to lead without needing everything spelled out. And most men fail right here because instead of responding with calm confidence, they hesitate. They overanalyze, or worse, they ignore the moment completely because it didn't look obvious enough. And in her mind, that sends a message louder than anything you could say. It tells her you're either not interested or not aware enough to handle her. Another sign, she protects her image around you, not in a fake way, but in a refined way. The way she speaks, the way she carries herself, the way she reacts, it all becomes slightly more controlled. She's not trying to impress you like she would with someone she's unsure about. She's trying to be seen clearly by you, authentically, but carefully. Because when a woman chooses you, she values your perception of her. She wants you to see her as someone worth choosing back. And that means she won't be reckless with how she presents herself. She won't overshare too quickly. She won't expose her vulnerabilities all at once. Instead, she reveals herself in layers, slowly, deliberately, giving you just enough to stay intrigued while keeping enough to protect her own emotional position. And here's something deeper that most men completely overlook. She becomes patient with you. Not endlessly patient, but noticeably more understanding than she would be with someone she doesn't care about. If you make a small mistake, she doesn't immediately pull away. If you're a little slow to respond, she doesn't assume the worst. There's a quiet tolerance there, a willingness to give you the benefit of the doubt. But don't mistake that for weakness. It's not that she'll tolerate anything. It's that she sees potential in you and she's giving you space to align with it. She's watching to see if you'll rise, not chasing you while you stay the same. And this is where the pressure shifts onto you. Because once a woman has chosen you internally, the question is no longer does she like me? The question becomes, are you the man she thought you were when she made that decision? She won't ask you that directly. She will observe it in silence, in your consistency, in your confidence, in your ability to step into moments she quietly creates for you. And if you miss those moments, she won't argue. She won't beg. She won't explain. She'll simply choose differently. One of the clearest signs she's already chosen you is something most men completely overlook. She starts opening doors for you to lead without ever asking you to lead. It's subtle, almost invisible. If you're not paying attention, she'll pause just a little longer in conversations, giving you space to take control of the direction. She'll drop hints about things she enjoys, places she likes, experiences she wants, not as random information, but as quiet invitations. She's not telling you what to do. She's watching if you'll step up and do it on your own. Because when a woman has already chosen you, she's not looking for effort, she's looking for leadership. And leadership doesn't mean dominance or control, it means awareness. It means recognizing moments and acting on them without needing permission. It means you understand her signals without forcing her to explain them. For example, she might casually mention a cafe she loves or a movie she's been wanting to see. To most men, that sounds like small talk. But to a man who understands female psychology, that's an opportunity. That's her giving you a thread and seeing if you're capable of pulling it. If you ignore it, she notices. If you hesitate, she notices. And if you take initiative naturally without making it a big deal, she notices even more because that's what she's really testing. Not whether you can impress her, but whether you can lead her experience without being told how. Another powerful sign, she mirrors your energy but never chases it. If you're calm, she becomes calm. If you're playful, she becomes playful. If you're distant, she slightly pulls back, not to punish you, but to maintain balance. It's like she's syncing herself to your frequency, but always keeping just enough independence to protect her own value. This is where many men get confused. They think, if she likes me, why isn't she chasing me harder? But that question comes from insecurity, not understanding. A woman who has already chosen you doesn't feel the need to chase aggressively. She's already emotionally invested, but she's not going to sacrifice her self-respect to prove it. Instead, she creates a dynamic where you feel drawn to step forward. It's psychological, almost magnetic. You start thinking about her more, not because she's overwhelming you with attention, but because she's giving you just enough to stay engaged while leaving space for your curiosity to grow. And the more curious you become, the more you move toward her. And in her mind, that's confirmation. Confirmation that you're choosing her back without her having to ask. But here's the deeper layer most men never realize. She watches how you handle uncertainty. When she pulls back slightly, do you panic? Do you start chasing harder, texting more, trying to force reassurance? Or do you stay grounded, confident, unaffected by small shifts in her behavior? Because when a woman has already chosen you, she's not just looking for attraction, she's looking for emotional stability. She wants to know that if she gives herself to you, you won't crumble under pressure. You won't become needy the moment things feel unclear. You won't lose your center just because she's not constantly validating you. And the truth is, the moment you lose that center, she feels it, not logically, but emotionally. It changes how she sees you because the man she chose in her mind was composed, aware, steady. If you suddenly become reactive, insecure, uncertain, it creates a gap between who she thought you were and who you're showing yourself to be. And that gap, that's where attraction starts to fade silently, gradually, without warning. And once she feels it, everything begins to shift, even if you can't see it yet. When a woman has already chosen you, one of the most powerful signs is this. She lets you see parts of her that other people don't get access to, but she does it in fragments, not all at once. It's not dramatic. It's not a sudden emotional confession or a deep late night conversation out of nowhere. It's quieter than that, more controlled. She reveals herself in pieces, just enough for you to notice, but not enough for you to fully understand yet. And that's intentional because vulnerability for a woman isn't something she gives freely. It's something she releases carefully, especially to a man she actually values. She's not trying to impress you anymore. She's trying to see if you're safe enough to handle who she really is. You'll notice small shifts. She might share something slightly more personal than usual, a thought, a memory, a feeling she doesn't express to just anyone. Then she'll pull back again, almost like nothing happened. That's not inconsistency, that's calibration. She's testing the emotional space between you. She's watching how you respond. Do you listen or do you try to fix? Do you stay present or do you get uncomfortable? Do you respect the moment or do you push for more? Because when she gives you a glimpse of her inner world, she's not asking for solutions. She's measuring your depth. And most men fail this without even realizing it. They rush. They try to prove themselves. They overreact to her vulnerability, thinking it's an invitation to dive deeper immediately. But to her, that feels like pressure, like you're trying to take more than she's ready to give. And that's when she closes off again. But when you handle it correctly, when you stay calm, grounded, and simply receive what she shares without forcing anything, something changes. She relaxes around you, not instantly, but gradually, because now you've shown her something rare, emotional control. And that's what makes her open up more over time. Another sign, she starts including you in her mental future, but indirectly. She won't say, I see a future with you. She won't make bold statements or dramatic promises. Instead, she'll speak in subtle projections. She'll mention plans, ideas, or scenarios that quietly involve you without making it obvious. We should try that place sometime. That would actually be fun with you. You'd probably like that. Those words might seem casual, but they're not. They're her way of placing you into her world without risking too much. Because when a woman has chosen you, she doesn't fantasize out loud. She integrates you slowly into her reality, one thought at a time. And if you're paying attention, you'll feel it. You'll feel yourself becoming a natural part of her conversations, her ideas, her day-to-day thoughts. Not forced, not exaggerated, just present. But here's where it gets deeper. She also becomes more sensitive to how you treat her. Not because she's fragile, but because now it matters. When she hasn't chosen you yet, your actions don't carry much emotional weight. You're just another man. But once she's emotionally invested, everything you do starts to register differently. The way you respond, the way you speak, the way you show up, even small things begin to matter more. And she won't always tell you when something affects her. She'll observe, she'll internalize, she'll decide. That's the part most men never see coming, because from the outside, everything still looks calm. She's still there, still engaging, still present. But internally, she's evaluating every interaction against the image she built of you when she first chose you. And if your actions consistently align with that image, her attraction deepens. But if they don't, she doesn't fight for it. She doesn't argue. She doesn't try to fix you. She simply starts to detach quietly, gradually, until one day the same woman who once chose you without telling you unchooses you the exact same way. One of the most overlooked signs she's already chosen you is how she subtly protects your energy, even without saying a word. Most men think if a woman likes them, she'll always be chasing, always texting, always available. But when she's already decided on you, she does something much more powerful. She filters her world for you. She chooses what parts of herself, her time, and her attention you get carefully, intentionally, with precision. You'll notice it in small ways. Maybe she doesn't flood your phone with emojis or meaningless texts. Maybe she won't show up in every single social space where you are. But the moment she does give you, they're full. They're genuine and they feel like a gift because in her mind, her presence is valuable. And when she's already chosen you, she wants you to recognize that value, not take it for granted. She also creates emotional safety around you. She won't test you with unnecessary drama. She won't manipulate you with jealousy. She doesn't have to. She's already emotionally invested. And instead of chaos, she offers stability, calm presence that subtly tells you, I'm here, but only if you're worth my trust. Another thing, she makes herself scarce in just the right way. Not to play games, not to make you chase her blindly, but to see if you can maintain your own independence while staying emotionally present for her. She watches if you're strong enough to handle the quiet. If you panic, overthink, or beg for attention, that creates a mental note in her mind. If you stay grounded, confident, and consistent, she feels drawn to you even more. And then there's how she listens not just to your words, but to your silences, your pauses, your subtle moods. She remembers small details of preference you mentioned once, a joke you laughed at, a subtle frustration you expressed in passing. She doesn't bring it up to prove a point. She brings it up to connect, to show you that you matter in ways most men will never notice. You'll also see her protecting her own boundaries while simultaneously including you in hers. She won't give access to everyone around her, but you get glimpses, invitations to parts of her life others never see. Not all at once, but in measured doses that feel intimate. That's her way of signaling that you're chosen, that you belong, but you still need to earn deeper trust. And here's the part most men fail to notice. She subtly challenges you, not in a confrontational way, not in a mean way, but in ways that push you to grow, to think, to step up. She'll question ideas, tease perspectives, or nudge you out of comfort zones. Why? Because she already believes in your potential. She's already chosen you, and she wants to see if you're ready to live up to it. This is the invisible thread that separates attraction from commitment. Women who have already made their choice aren't trying to impress you with constant attention. They're quietly observing your growth, your emotional stability, and your ability to handle the depth of connection they're offering. And every interaction becomes a reflection. Are you matching her energy, or are you fading under the weight of expectation? She doesn't need to tell you she's chosen you. She proves it in how she curates her presence, her energy, and her attention. If you're awake, you'll feel it. If you're not, you'll mistake it for disinterest, uncertainty, or ambiguity. But make no mistake, when she's chosen you, her actions already speak louder than any words ever could. The final sign she's already chosen you is something almost no man notices until it's too late. Is how she communicates without needing to speak. Her energy, her presence, her small choices, all of them become a quiet, undeniable signal that she has already decided you matter more than anyone else. And the truth is, once you see this, everything changes. You'll notice it in the way she holds your attention, not with pressure, not with drama, not with constant pursuit, but with subtle consistency. She remembers your routines, your quirks, the way you react to stress or joy. She adjusts to you without making it obvious, without needing you to ask. That's her way of telling you, I see you, I value you, and I've chosen you. Another invisible but critical sign is how she prioritizes moments with you. Not every second of her time, but the moments that matter. She creates opportunities to share experiences, small or large, that feel deliberate. She invites you into her world without making it feel like a test, without forcing commitment. But make no mistake, every invitation is a marker of value. She's giving you her time and energy, which are her most precious resources, because she's already decided you're worth it. You'll also see it in her protection of herself and you. She won't waste her energy on games or manipulation. She won't let outside distractions or unnecessary drama interfere with the connection she's building with you. She's selective about what she allows into her space and her mind, and you're in that inner circle. That's a profound signal, because most men are so busy seeking attention that they overlook it entirely. And here's the part most men completely miss. She expects emotional maturity from you, not perfection. She's chosen you not because you're flawless, but because she believes in your capacity to rise to the level she has already assigned to you in her mind. Every subtle test, every observation, every layered conversation is her way of gauging if you're truly ready to hold the space she's offering. She also communicates through loyalty in small ways. The little things she does not to impress, but because she genuinely cares about your well-being. She checks in, she notices shifts in your mood, she remembers details that matter. These aren't grand gestures, they're invisible proofs of choice. She's committed quietly, without noise, without spectacle. Finally, she challenges you to be your best self. She already believes in your potential, now she's giving you the space to prove it to yourself. If you rise, the bond deepens. If you falter, she silently recalibrates. She won't beg. She won't explain. She'll simply adjust, just as she always has. Calm, intentional, emotionally precise. So here's the truth. The woman who has chosen you doesn't need to announce it. She demonstrates it in layers, in consistency, in her careful attention, and in the way she silently tests your awareness, leadership, and emotional stability. The question now isn't whether she's chosen you. The question is, are you the man who can see it, honor it, and rise to match it? Think about it right now. Take a moment and then answer this. If she's already chosen you, how will you prove you're the man she's investing her trust and energy in? Write your answer in the comments below if this resonated.